Okay, now we're doing 2-2. So we are going to close out of this one. And we're going to open up 2-2. And we're on page 2-12. We still have our panels. We've got that going. Gonna make this a lot bigger. Going to go to my artboard. Oh, make it a little bit more centered. And then zoom in. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. And we're gonna go ahead and continue on this one. We're gonna learn how to format text in an object. And then we're going to fill an object with text. Okay, so we're gonna learn a lot more objectives on this one. We're gonna select the yellow square. Remember that we're using the selection tool. We still have not touched on the direct selection tool. So always just use the selection tool for now. I want you to double click the rotate tool. So the rotate tool, where is that at, guys? Ooh, and then you said it was under the object panel?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as that.
So where is your object panel? Let me look at it. Oh. Ah, I can't grab it. And we're going to do rotate. Okay. I haven't done anything. I've only just right now done the square. Hi, guys. How are you? Oh, it's not? Then reopen it. Because if you want the data file to nothing to be and if not, then re-download it. Should I pause the video or keep going? Okay, they're trying to fix the text, but we're going to go ahead and rotate the yellow square. Okay, we're back on track. So we're still on step 2 on 2-12. We're going to rotate it using the rotate tool, which is under object. And then we're going to type 45 into our angle. You can also check mark preview. Check mark preview before you do this, because that'll actually show you what you're doing before you make a permanent change. Yep, click preview, because that'll show you what it's actually doing before you actually click OK. It took a minute to register. I don't know why, but it's supposed to show you what it's going to look like before you hit OK. It should, I think, by default, it should be checked, but it's not. So you just have to do it. OK, click the area type tool. Then click the block of the text. So you're going to go over to the area type tool. Where do you think the area type tool is going to be? Yeah. I think that's a pretty good guess. You have to hold it down. Right. Good. Area type tool. Then click the block of the text. So now we're moving away from the shape and we're going to click the block of the text. That activates that. You're going to click select on the menu bar. Remember our menu bar is at the top. You're going to click select. And then you're going to click all. This one actually has an easier shortcut. Control A, just 2 keys. Yeah, use that one. These other ones that use 3, I don't really consider them shortcuts, but Control A is pretty easy to use. So instead of having what you always want to remember when you're doing Illustrator is when you're designing something, you're trying to just use your keyboard as much as possible and trying to maybe use a pen tool, like maybe a drawing board. You don't want to ever have to go back and use your mouse and drag it and try to find something. You kind of want to start remembering shortcuts. That way you don't have to always lift your hand from your drawing and just be able to just use shortcut keys. So always try to keep that in mind. Okay, where are we at? So we did the select all. And a flashing cursor appears. Is this step 7? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, we did step 4. Now we're going to copy the text. So we're on step 5. You're going to copy the text. And how do you copy it? Control C. So there's another way to copy it as well. You can go to Edit and you can copy it. But what Casey just did was he used the shortcut keys. So use Control C. And Control C is also good for Microsoft Office. And it's good. Control C is copy. Yep. So use that one. Good, good, good. I keep losing myself. This text is so small. All right, so Control C for copy. And it also gives you a Mac shortcut key, but we're not going to use that one. So we've copied the text, and it copies it to a clipboard. So it's copied. Even though you don't think that it is, it is. Then we're going to click the area type tool. Oh, no, wait. We're going to click the selection tool. So selection tool, then select the yellow square. Then the area type tool. So that should already be selected. That should be because we used it before. But just in case, go ahead and click on it one more time. Then click the edge of the yellow square. So the edge of the yellow square would be like the border. And we're going to click the edge of it. A flashing cursor appears and the square loses its fill color. Did that happen with you guys?
Yes.
Your cursor's at the top?
But mine already
It's not letting you? All right, I'm going to pause the video just to make sure that you're... Now it works? Okay. Okay, good. So we're going to paste the copy text. How do you paste? Using a shortcut key. Control V. Very good. Control V. And now look at what's happened. What just happened with the square?
It formatted it to the object.
Yes. It filled its shape with the text. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty cool. Okay. So that was the objective, was to try and make sure that we could format text into a shape. Because if you try to copy and paste this into the square, it's not going to let you until you click the area type tool. So this area type tool, that's what it's useful for. So we've learned the vertical type tool, we've learned the type tool, and now we know what the area type tool is. So the book is just trying to tell you how each tool works. And then at the end, Bradley, it's going to tell you, can you do this by yourself and using the tools that you've learned. So that's why it's kind of important to go through the chapter and know how to do each one. Okay, should we move on? Should we do the next one too? Yeah, why not, right? What else do we have to do? So let's go ahead and keep this selected. So keep your cursor in the... I don't even want to call it a square anymore because now it looks like a diamond. So keep your cursor in the diamond. And, a rhombus? Ooh, that's a good one. See, we learned math too. We learned geometry, math, everything. We're going to go ahead and do the align center. So that's, again, in your character panel, right? But where is it? Because I don't see it here. Paragraph. Paragraph what? Paragraph tab. Good. So now you've centered your text. Okay, and
so now it works. The center works if it's contained in something.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Because remember in the last chapter or the last lesson, it said that it was centered in the text box, not the artboard. So you got to remember that that's not the same thing. You don't think about paragraph align center as the artboard. It's not going to do that. It's going to only do it in the actual text box. Good, good, good. Back on the character panel. So let's go back to the character panel. So the character tab. And then we're going to change the font size. So you could use your up and down arrows, but I think we've learned that typing it in is better. So I'm going to put 9 point. What should you do if you wanted to actually affect the text? Because right now I'm changing stuff, but nothing's changing. Select the text. And how do you select it? Using shortcut keys? Control A. Or if you really want to have to use your mouse and do several steps, you could go to menu bar, select all. But shortcut keys for sure. Okay, so 9. Now we're going to learn something new. We're going to learn about leading. We haven't touched on leading at all. So let's see what happens with leading. So leading is over here. If you hover above, it's right next to your font size. And you want to, and you want to bring it down to 9. And kerning, leading, tracking, those are all terms that are also used when it comes to printing, when it comes to actually doing stuff in the industry, when it comes to printing and newspapers, and you'll hear those terms a lot. So it's pretty cool that that also is used in Illustrator. Okay, so what did leading do? Did you see anything change? And if you actually explore, and even if the book doesn't tell you to do this, go ahead and see what it's doing when you go higher and when you go lower on it.
It's just spreading the words out more, basically.
Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Like it spaces it out between each line. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to do, because I want to stick to what the book is saying, we're going to do 11 for it. So right now I'm at 13, and I want to bring it down a couple more. Deselect the text. How do you deselect? That one's hard. That one's Shift. Right. Shift, Control A. So think about Control A was select. So now you just add the Shift, and then that's the deselect.
So like all 3 in a row, so you just like.
Oh, yeah. Or they're all close to each other. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I deselected it. And now see what happens when the border goes away, when the shape goes away? It doesn't even, it almost looks like your text, it's kind of like magical, because now your text is just floating there, and people are probably going to wonder, how did they do that? Like, how did they make that into a diamond shape? And you've taken that away. Like when you do HTML and you do a table, like a web page, and you take away the border, and people are like, how's everything aligned so perfectly and in the columns? Because they don't see a table. But you do have a table. It's just invisible.
You can do this like everything, like it's a star.
A star, any shape. Mm-hmm. Yep. This time it's a diamond, but we can definitely do this for any shape. Okay, where are we at now? Always try to make sure you're saving too. I don't even think it told us to save. Oh, it did. It told us to save it as a diamond text. Yes, because remember that power goes out in this room all the time. So make sure you're putting diamond or you're saving it. And remember that you're saving it as .ai. And then at the end, when you're done with it, you're converting it to a PDF, right? Okay, making sure. Because I will always get students that tell me, I didn't know that we're supposed to do PDF. And I'm like, I say it all the time.
You can actually save it as a PDF, because like in the save as type, there's PDF.
There's a drop down? Okay, good. Good, good, good. And always make it web ready. Yeah, I don't have it on mine because I'm in the 2015 version, but on your version it should say like fast. And I will have the latest version hopefully next week. Okay, so this is saved. And you can tell that it's saved because when you look at your tab, it'll say it right there. And save it to your thumb drive. Okay, what are we doing now, guys? Actually, you know what? Casey, can you come up here? I need a break. Plus, you get to be in the video, and you get to put that on your resume that you did a video lecture for Web Development.
So which one
So
are
we
we?
can help them out. What step are we on?
Are we still doing the diamond text?
Should be 2, 3 now.
No, we're still not done.
Oh.
I think
right now, all
we-
we did was we deselected the text.
Yeah, I think we had just finished the set leading and then click the selection tool,
Mm-hmm.
then click the diamond shaped text.
Did we copy the text object?
No.
Okay,
No,
that's
we're
fine.
the one step before that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Click the selection tool. You're right.
Okay. Then the next step is copy the text object. Both the text and the object are copied. Is that in there?
To select all.
How are you selecting more than one?
Oh, I accidentally pressed Control A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would hit the control key, but you don't have to in this one. Okay, good.
Then the next, huh?
For copying, right?
Yeah, it says to click the selection tool, then click the diamond-shaped text. Then both the text and the object that contains the text are selected. So both are selected when you click on it. Then you're gonna copy the text object. So go to just Control C.
Okay.
So then it says both the text and the object are copied. Click Window on the menu bar. Then click Berry Symposium AI. Go up, you might have to scroll up. Yeah, go all the way up. You see it anywhere?
What is it going?
Oh wait, I'm just kidding. Option at the bottom of the menu. So actually scroll down. I'm sorry.
Berry
Do
Symposium.
you see it?
What's going?
It's not there? Oh, it's because I don't have it open. I closed out of it. That's what it was. I think I have to have it open. I closed out of it by mistake. Hopefully you guys didn't close out of it.
I can reopen mine on my computer.
Yeah, let's go ahead. But I want to be able to have it on the video lecture too.
Oh, yeah.
So let me see if I can find it really quick. Sorry about that, Casey.
That's fine.
Made the other one go away.
It should have two tabs. When you open up another document, it'll add another tab on here. So let me see if I can find it. But where did I save it to? I think I saved it to my desktop. Let me make sure. And that other video is still saving. How can I minimize this? Let me see. Berry Symposium, right? Where is it? Where is it? Berry Symposium. Okay, I found it.
So would we unhide the text from the berry one, since it's technically blank?
Oh, yes, because, okay, no, don't unhide yet. But yes, you're right, because we did hide the berry text. Okay, so Bradley, if you look up here, when you open up the Berry Symposium,
Yeah.
it'll just make it into another tab. And I know it's blank, but that's because we hit the
Re-hit the
text.
text.
Right. So now you have two tabs. So now you should be able to go to Window and click on Berry Symposium. And you can, it's there. So when we click on that one, it'll take us back. Okay, Casey, we got this. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this part just to make sure, because I don't want it to paste the text object into the Berry Symposium document. So let's see, paste it. Edit, paste. Okay, there it is. I'm pretty sure it's gonna tell us to unhide the text, but hold on, let me make sure. Show guides, then align the center point of the text object with the intersection of the guides. Okay, so we're going to go to show guides. So view, guides, show guides. Then align the center point of the text object with the intersection of the guides. So like this, right? Does that look good? And then you can use the arrow keys to nudge the selection. Okay. Click object and then lock. So object, and then we're going to lock it. Then click selection. So lock selection, and that has a shortcut as well, but we've locked the selection. Close the diamond text document without saving changes and save the Berry Symposium document. So we didn't unhide it, so I'm glad that we didn't have to unhide. Okay, so we're going to save this. So file, save. And then close out of the diamond text without saving. So they don't want, right? Close the diamond without saving. Okay, so now we only have this one.
So we're closing out already?
Yeah, we close out of the diamond one, and then we paste the diamond text onto the various symposium one. You're following along too, Austin? Yay! Did you do this one yet? No? Okay. Are you learning something pretty cool, like how to format it into the shape? Austin hasn't been a very big fan of Illustrator either. Do you miss HTML and CSS? A little bit. I know. It's so funny because when I was young, when I was little, I used to always be like, oh man, I love art. I'm going to be an artist when I grow up. And then it's funny because I'm sort of doing that now, but it's digital. And it's like, I used to always be like, oh, I'm going to just paint and draw. And now it's like everything is digital. And now that I finally am doing this artwork, I'm like, oh my God, it's more just like learning a bunch of different icons and it's shortcut keys and all that. But it's still fun. It's just a lot to absorb. Okay, we're done with this one. So now we can do lesson 3, which is actually positioning text on a path, which Austin, I remember he was on that. So I'm glad all you 3 are on the same page. I think I'm going to do it on the same video. So we're going to keep this one open, or not this one, but we're going to keep this video going because the other one is still saving. Yay, it's already done. Okay, let's keep this one going. It says to click the ellipse tool, but it doesn't tell us to open anything. Did I miss something, guys? Right? So am I closing out of this? Or are we still working on the same document? Austin, when you did this one, did you just...
Don't close out of that.
Don't close out of it? Okay. Oh, because we're still using the same text in the middle.
Yes.
I see it. Just kidding. Okay. Exactly. Yep. Okay, good. I'm glad that we noticed that because I almost closed out of it. Okay, let's go a little bit more to the left. Okay, click the ellipse tool. So the ellipse tool, that is over by, when you see the rectangle tool, you hold it down and then you'll see other shapes. So we want the ellipse tool. So that's this one. Ellipse, it's like a circle. So we're just going to grab that one. You're going to want to hold down the Alt button. And that's going to be because you're going to want to make it more like an oval. So the Alt tool, or the Alt key allows you to do that. So you have to hold it down while you're clicking on the artboard. Oh yeah, it tells you right there. Ensures that the center of the shape will be drawn from the point that you clicked. Okay, so hold it down, then create, oh, just kidding. Control Z is to undo. Alt, and I'm gonna do it on the center. And you can see that the circle starts, and I'm holding down my Alt key. And it starts making a circle around it. Does everyone see that? Did you get it to work, Brad? Click like right on the center of the text and then just start opening it up. No? And then make sure you're holding on the Alt key. You got it? Okay, good. Now mine is black. Is your guys black too?
Yeah.
You can change that, but I don't know if I want to change that because it hasn't told me to. Huh?
Marcos told me to just hit the little box with the little slash through it, like no color.
No fill? Okay. So yeah, let's do no fill then. That's this one right here. Or yeah, that's none. So click on the red line that's going across and that'll be the no fill. I just feel like they should have told us that in the book. Because sometimes when they don't tell us to do something, I think that they want us to keep it for the default, which was black. But we'll go ahead and click on no fill. swatch. That's the colors.
It's only allowing me to do the main color.
Wait, are you moving ahead?
No,
Where are you at?
I was trying to outline because each time I click away, the circle just disappears on the screen.
Oh, I see.
I can't click it again.
It's like right next to the fill.
See, that's another thing that's different.
Yeah.
They changed the color where like that.
Oh,
On my
really?
screen, that's like way over here.
I can't wait to have the latest version. That'll be next week. Frank promised me. IT, they told me that I'll have it next week. Okay. So we've got that going. Enter 2.9 in for the width and the height of the circle in the ellipse dialog box. So where is my ellipse dialog box? Do you guys see? Oh, it's right over here. It's on the top. And if you guys don't like it up here, you can undock the panel and put it somewhere else by just dragging it. So let's say I'm like, I don't like this over here. I want it somewhere else. It'll let you do that. But I'm going to keep it up here. So this is the ellipse dialog box. This one up here. That's the one we're using for the shape. So it says enter 2.9 for the width and the height. So where's my width and height? I see stroke, I see opacity, I see style, I see align, I see shape.
If you click on the circle, and then go up to the top toolbar right there,
Uh-huh.
should give you a width and height there on the right side.
I think either it's in my version or maybe it's the same in your version. You actually have to click on the shape properties. If it already shows up for you, even better. But on my version, I have to click on shape properties in order to see the width and the height. Yep. See, we just got to adjust. Okay, so this one's the width. This one's the height. So on the width, remember that we're also making sure that it's inches because sometimes it might be a different unit of measurement. So on this one, let's go ahead and put 2.9 inches for the width. So let's put 2.9. And for the height, we're going to, oh, also 2.9. Okay, so 2.9 and 2.9. Awesome. It's looking really nice. And then we're going to click OK. There's not an OK on mine, so I'm just going to click Enter. And you'll see that the circle is the perfect size for our text. Yeah, I don't know why it has a square around it either. Does yours have a square around it?
No.
I don't know. Hopefully it won't affect me later on. Let's keep going. So now we're going to click the Type on a Path tool. Where do you think that one is? The Type on a Path tool.
If you go to type or text or whatever you want,
The Type tool.
and then hold down on it.
Yep. Anytime that you see the word type, I think it'll be under the Type tool. Yep, this one, Type on a Path tool. So we select that. Look, my square went away, so that's good. That's promising. And then click the Align Left button on the Control panel. The Control panel. Right? What? The Control panel? I think they meant Character panel? Or Paragraph panel?
Aligning to the left.
Yeah, they've got I think they made a mistake in the book. I think it's Align Left on the Paragraph panel, right?
Yeah, that's what I can see.
But it's already on that. Then click the edge of the circle at approximately 10 o'clock. Where would 10 o'clock be? Like, think about a clock. So you got 12, you got 3, 6,
Maybe the upper
9.
left-hand.
Yeah, like right here. I would put it right there. I think that's where 10. Actually, it probably is a little bit more over here.
There's a clock right looking.
Yeah, that's more like 11, but oh well. So 10:30, yeah. A flashing cursor appears and the circle loses its fill color. Oh, maybe that's when it... Oh, well. Anyway, we're going to type 3 rivers in lowercase letters. So 3 rivers, 3. And look at how it is aligning to the circle. 3 rivers. I know. That video, I know. That's why the video tells you to start at the bottom. And in here, it tells you to start at 10 o'clock. For now, I'm going to stick to what the book is telling me to see if this works. Because I want to see if the book is actually making sense. If not, then I'll edit it and I'll say something on the Dropbox like start at the bottom. We watched it. Yeah.
Because you put it down the bottom, if you hit center, it puts it to the top.
Exactly.
Put it right here and hit center, it's gonna put it in the center of that text box.
Right. Yeah. I know. That's exactly what. Yeah. So I don't know who to believe. But for now, let's do what the book says just to see what happens. But yeah, according to the video, they said to always start at the bottom. And then like Brad was saying, you want to hit align center and that'll bring it to the top perfectly at the center. We'll see what happens. So we're going to click the selection tool. So that's up here. Whoa, did that happen to you guys?
Mine's like a big text, and it's all close together.
Yeah, and if you look at what those are, this one is called the center bracket. This is what's going to help you rotate the text. But I'm not going to click it just yet. Then these two over here are, what are those called, Austin? Those are your like start and start and end, right? So that's why these come up. So let's see what happens. We're going to click the selection tool to select the text by its baseline. Verify that the font is Times New Roman. So let's go back to character. Let's make sure this is Times New Roman. Is it selected? I should just type it. I'm just going to type it. Oh, there, and then press enter, right? Awesome. Did it change it? Okay, Times New Roman. Where am I at now? Then change the font size to 47. So we're going to change the font size to 47. Yeah, so it is selected because I can tell because as I'm increasing my size, it's also increasing with me. So far it looks like figure 17, so that's looking good. Okay, so then we're going to compare screen of figure 17. Note the center bracket in figure 17. That's this one down here. Dragging a center bracket is the easiest way to move text along a path. Should we do that or should we? Let's just try it just so you guys can see it. So look what happens. And then also look what happens when you do this. Are you ready for this? It's going to blow your mind. You are going to, when you go across, it goes inside the circle. Do you see that? When you bring it outside, or if you drag it outwards, it just rotates the text on the line. But when you bring it inwards, it flips it. It's what we call flipping it. And then you can drag it from there. I just right-clicked by mistake. Okay. No, that's Control Z. If something went wrong, Control Z. You can always undo. Control Z will be your best friend with Illustrator because I don't know what happened when I was rotating it. Okay, we're done with that one. View on the menu bar, then point to guides. So view, then guides. Where are my guides? Okay. Click hide guides. So we want to hide those yellow lines. So far we have this. Looks really good. Also notice, this is a great time to use your Control plus, Control minus. Notice what happens when I was trying to tell you guys about how Illustrator keeps things crisp and clean and clear. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, and it'll always look sharp. It'll always look with the shapes as well. You'll see that as well because they're vector images. And vector images, it's like this formula that is used to when you magnify and you zoom in versus when you like do a JPEG image or when you do what we call a raster image, it'll get blurry and pixelated because they're using pixels. So you always want to use vector images when you're using stuff on your website or when you're trying to show presentations, things like that. Vector images. Okay. Where are we at now? We hit the guys. Now we're gonna use the selection tool. So we're gonna go back to our selection tool. Then we're gonna drag the center bracket until the text is centered at the top of the circle. So I think it is.
Or you could do it like I said.
Yeah, I know. We could just start from the bottom and then center it. Moving text along a path is a touch-sensitive procedure. You'll find that it's easy to flip the text over the baseline and it will run inside the circle. With a little experience, you'll find that you're able to position text on a line as you desire. Okay, click edit on the menu bar, then click copy, and then paste in front. Right? Am I doing this right? Click edit, copy, click edit again, then click paste in front. Edit, paste in front. So you may not be able to see it, but there's now a copy of the text. Right, Austin? Is that what you were saying? It's just over it. So that's why you're not able to see it. But that's going to come in handy. So you want to make sure that you copy the text and you paste in front. So now we're going to see what happens. Drag the center bracket of the copy text clockwise to move the copy text to the figure position shown in figure 18. So we're still actually on page 2-16 when we're looking at our images. So that's why you won't see symposium just yet. We're still looking at the three rivers. We copied, what did it say? Copy and then click edit, then paste in front. So what it did is it copied three rivers. That's right. Yes. So now when we move the center bracket, we want it to look like, whoop. What did I just do? I meant to grab this. We want it to look like figure -18. So if you look at figure 18, it's a copy of three rivers at the bottom. Did you guys all get that? No? You're lost? Did you put paste in front? And now rotate it? And it didn't do it? Okay, hold on. Can one of you guys go help him real quick? Just so I don't have to pause the video. Thank you. And if anything, Control Z. And then do it again, maybe? This is going to be a long video. It's okay. They can fast forward. The video that you guys are watching, you can still rewind, fast forward, pause, go take a break. I like to go slowly so that everyone is, we have a lot of students that are following along. And if one of them is getting lost, we have to wait until they catch up. So I could pause the video, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll pause the video. So let me minimize this real quick and pause. Where's my pause button? Okay, this is a great time for a break anyway. Uh-oh. Oh, this one's my type. Okay. Okay, so I feel like I'm missing a panel. Maybe not. We are on step 2 on page 2-17. We're going to use the selection tool to drag the center bracket onto the text center at the top of the circle. Okay, wait a minute, we did that. Yeah, we did that already. Oh, okay, so now we got to flip it. So now we're trying to make it look like figure 19, flipping the text across a path. So we're going to grab the center bracket, which is this one. Don't get it confused. When you see these two, that's the start and end. This one's the center bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip three rivers, the one down here, inside the circle. So drag the center bracket of the copy text toward the center of the circle to flip the text across the path. So let's see if it works. Uh-oh. It did it, but then remember it's touch sensitive, so be very careful. Good luck. Try to make it flip inside the circle. We are flipping it like figure 19. So let me undo what I just did so that we can do that again. So edit, undo, move. So it's like this, right? Be very careful of which one you select. We want to select the center bracket, which is this guy. And you want to drag it towards the inside of the circle and then rotate it so that it ends up on the bottom. And remember, it's very touch sensitive, so you gotta be very careful.
So what are we dragging this with? Just at the bottom to inside.
Inside, yeah, like that. You want it to look like figure 19 on page 2-16. So it should look like this. There should be 3 rivers at the top. Then there should be 3 rivers at the bottom. And you flipped it inside. And you have it running along the path of the bottom of the circle. So that was step 5 on page 2-17. Then it says, click the baseline shift text box on the character panel. So when we go to character panel, we're going to go to the baseline shift text box. Where is that? Oh, right here. It is the one that looks like this icon. The A, the little A. When you click on the text box, type -21. -21. Enter. On the baseline text box down here, you're going to type -21. And then press enter. So do you see what that just did? It scooted it down. It like moved it down and then it spread it up. Or did it spread it? Yeah, it kind of spread it also.
It moved it below the text line.
Right. Perfect. Then we're going to click the type tool. So we're going to go over to the type tool. And we're going to select 3 rivers at the bottom of the circle. Oh, so we have to actually click type tool. So click type tool, then select the 3 rivers. Put your cursor there. Then type symposium. So this is how you do it, Austin. But it doesn't tell you to delete the 3 rivers, though.
I mean, if we're going off the graphic,
Yeah, you're going to have to delete it, right?
yeah.
Okay, now notice that it still looks really spread apart. That's where your kerning and your tracking comes in. So remember, tracking is the whole word, yeah. And kerning is the space in between the letters. Okay, that's important. That's why we have to learn that first in order to do this one. So what we're going to do is now track and kern the word symposium as you think necessary. Oh, so it doesn't even tell you exactly how to do it. It wants you to experiment and do it yourself. So your kerning's here, your tracking's here. So tracking is going to be the whole word. Oh, we have to select it first. Why doesn't it tell us to do that? Can you just like control like that? Is that what you guys did? I'm thinking that the tracking is going to be in the negative, right? And then the kerning, you have to actually go in between the letters. Remember? Because it affects the spacing in between the letters. So I want these to come a little bit closer. I want this one to come a little bit closer. So tracking's for the whole word, and then kerning, you have to individually put your cursor in between each letter and try to make it match figure 21. So Austin, you were able to get symposium?
Yeah.
Awesome, because I know we were having trouble with that earlier. And all it takes is just sometimes redoing it and just going step by step until you figure it out. Just baby steps. All right, so you guys are probably going to have different values when it comes to the kerning and tracking, but as long as it looks like the figure, then that's what matters. Maybe a little bit more. I might want to rotate mine too, because mine is a little bit more to the left instead of the center. Oh, I'm increasing it. Oops. Decrease, decrease. Okay. So now, oops. Control Z if you ever make a mistake. Okay. I was going to do the type tool, but I mean, let's see what happens. Okay. Now, if we've done the kerning, we've done the tracking, click the selection tool. So selection tool. And center bracket. Now it's kind of hard to see the center bracket, but remember, it's never going to be the start and end, which are these two. It's always going to be the single lonely line over here. That's the center bracket. And drag it to center the text at the bottom of the circle. So let's see if we can drag it to. It's so touch sensitive. Oh my goodness. Should I just do it this? Oh, and then it flips it. Oh my goodness. You got it perfectly centered? Mine is just going crazy. Okay, let me see.
You don't move it outside the circle.
Don't move it outside. Okay. And then just rotate it. Look at that. That's so smart. I kept moving it outside. Is that good? Yeah, that looks good. All right, we got it. Okay, well, there's one more thing you have to do. Lock the two text objects. So you're going to go to...
Lock the text.
Yeah, that's what it says. So you're going to go to lock the two text objects. So should we control?
To select two, usually you hold shift.
Just shift it, you think?
Oh, well, no, shift and then you can click on both of them.
Okay. So, I mean, I use control, but let's go ahead and use shift just in case. And then object and lock. I wonder if we could just lock all artwork. Or just selection, I guess. Okay, hopefully it locked. Wow, we did a lot. All right, I'm going to stop the video because we definitely just did about 40 minutes. And save this too, just in case. So save that. So let me pause or stop the video, and then we'll start a different video for the next 2 lessons. We're almost at the gradient. We have one more lesson to go, and then we'll be at the gradient. But I feel like we've learned a lot. Where's my pause?